So by show of hands, how many people have seen me give a talk like this before, either at Furry Fiesta or Anthropomorphic? A few of you. Who here has no idea who the hell I am? Awesome. Okay, good. I feel bad when I'm giving a talk to people who've all heard it before, and I'm like, oh well, you all recognize this slide, so cool. For how many of you is this your first BLFC? Oh shit. Wow. And for how many of you is this your first furry convention ever? Oh, round of applause for those folks. Awesome. All right. Don't worry, for whether you've been a furry for 10 years or this is your first week in the fandom, we've got plenty of stuff here for you. You shouldn't be bored. Unless we never get the microphones working.
Stop making us look bad.
Tugs, ladies and gentlemen. Yay! Alright. Let's see, do I have any other comical banter before the talk?
And then eventually your voice will start moving.
Oh, you want me to start right now then?
Yeah, go for it.
Are you like 1 minute out or are you like 20 minutes out?
I don't know. We're waiting on Microsoft to figure our future out.
Alright. I may set the microphone down for now, and then when it's going. All right. Cool. You're gonna miss all the boring preamble. That's all you're gonna miss. So. All right.
There you go.
Oh, wait, it's working now.
No, oh. You put it in there. You put it in, jeez.
All right. Cool. All right, we'll get started then. So, hi everyone. So, thank you for making out and packing the room. This is a pretty good show up. I like this. So, for furry psychology, I really, really like humorous subtitles, and every year I fight with myself to come up with a better humorous subtitle. So this is one for this year. Classics this year, although I'd like to think that Freud might be okay with it because it was Freud who said that time spent with cats is never wasted. So maybe he would have thought it was cool. Okay, so, I'm supposed to be on that side. There we go. So, right back at you, buddy. I'm Nuka, and my confession right off the bat is that I am, in fact, a furry. Yeah. Spoiler alert. This is my full disclosure here. So I'm speaking to you today as a furry. I've been a furry for the better part of a decade now, officially. But I've been interested in furry stuff for about 20 years. So this isn't my first rodeo. I think it's like my 35th or 36th convention that I've been to now. So I've been doing this for a little while now. In addition to being a furry, those are my furry credentials out of the way. That is an awful. I've heard that. All right. So I'm also a doctor. Now I'm not this kind of a doctor. Much to the chagrin of my parents, they make way more. I am in fact a doctor of psychology. Specifically, I'm a social psychologist, which means I'm not a clinical psychologist, which means I don't care about your problems. I'm not a sit down on the couch and tell me your problems kind of psychologist. I'm more of a put you in a room and watch through a window what you do kind of psychologist.
That's creepy psychologist.
No. So I study environmental factors that influence our behavior. That's what social psychologists do. Now, the environment is a very big thing, so we break it down into manageable chunks. So I study sort of 3 specific areas. I study fantasy activities, so I study how people engage in fantasy and the effects of having active fantasies on you. I study violent media, so I'm one of those jerks who's ruining video games for everyone. That said, Fallout 4 is my favorite video game of all time, so I'm a hypocrite. And I also study fan groups, and that's the only bad pun in this entire talk, I promise. So it is this last bit of research on fan groups that brings me here, because I study furries. I'm not the only person in the world to study furries. In fact, I'm part of a group of researchers called the International Anthropomorphic Research Project, who, yeah, the IARP. If I could go back in time, I would find a more elegant acronym. But it's got big words, because that gets us grant money. So it sounds important. So, like I said, I don't study furries alone. I study it along with a team of researchers, including my colleague Dr. Kathy Grabassi,
Yes.
who is at the Niagara County Community College in New York State. She is not a furry, but she has a fursuit for some reason. So she's totally not a furry. My colleague, Dr. Sharon Roberts, also not a furry. She's up at the University of Waterloo in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. Not a furry, but has a persona. The crossbow is a must. And my colleague, Dr. Stephen Rayson, who is down at Texas A&M University Commerce, who is wearing the same damn red button-up shirt in every picture I have of him. Also not shown here, my colleague, Dr. Carlin Rugel. Doctor, as she still has that new doctor smell as of like, what, a month ago? So there are a few of us studying furries together. And what we do, quite simply, is science. We're doing actual science here. Bust open your grade 6 textbook because that's exactly what we're doing. We're doing the scientific method, starting with forming research questions, which usually involves going to conventions, getting questions asked to us by furries, or just making observations and going, I wonder why that is. So that's where we get our research questions from. We then answer those questions and the hypotheses based on them using actual data that we collect from conventions like this one, or through surveys that we do online. Good God.
I so want to know what's going on in that room.
Alright, I will just speak louder. Alright, so yeah, we collect data from conventions like this one and online. That's where we get our data from. We analyze that data using statistics, and if all goes well, we publish those findings on our research website in peer-reviewed psychological journals. The media comes to us with questions about furries. We give them answers, and then they promptly ignore them and publish whatever they were going to publish. But we tried. And we really, really do science. So like a good friend Adam Savage here said, the only difference between screwing around in science is writing it down. We don't just go to a convention, ask 5 furries some questions, and then call it a day. We really do endeavor to get the best data that we can. I guess if that's Adam Savage, that makes me the Jamie Heineman of... Now, when I say we collect data, we collect a lot of data. In fact, more than 20,000 furries over the better part of a decade have taken our surveys from more than 70 countries. So this is some of the most representative data on the planet on the subject of furries. There's so much data, in fact, that I actually can't cram it all into this one talk. The first version of this talk was 2.5 hours long, and no one wants to spend that much time listening to me talk, least of all me. So there's a cheap version of this here, a bit of shameless self-promotion here. We published a book, and it's free. So if you go to firstscience.com, you can actually download it for free. It has all of the information you're going to see today, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. We made it free for furries because they've been so good about being research participants for us and have supported us all these years. It's the least we could do. So also win internet arguments with it. It's great. And if for whatever reason you don't read English, we got you covered because someone actually translated it into Russian for us. I don't know why, but it was nice of them to do it. So if you speak Russian, you can let me know if it's correct or if they're making fun of my mother. But